What's up guys, my name is Jason and welcome to Gold Coast Exotics. How's it going guys? Before I get into today's video, I'd love to ask if you'd like the content of this video or anything that I've been producing as of late, if you wouldn't mind just liking the video, as it does help the algorithm and spread the video out to new viewers. And also if you would subscribe, that would be great. So today I want to talk about 3 huge ways of how I save money while starting my journey on this ball python breeding business. Starting a ball python breeding business doesn't have to be as expensive as you may think. Whether you're thinking about getting into the industry and you're concerned about the funds, or you're trying to convince your spouse or loved ones to get on board or support you with investing money, saving money when starting this business can be crucial. So it can give you that extra momentum when starting out to further help you in the game, especially if you're starting out with minimum funds. Just like anything else that you invest in, it can take years before you see any return on your initial investment. So the first thing we can do to save money when first starting out is building our own racks. Rack systems are extremely expensive, and they can range anywhere from $300 to $3,000 and up. But initially, you don't have to invest in that brand new shiny Freedom Breeder or ARS rack, or any other rack for that matter. So one way to save money is to build your own racks. With minimum skill and a few hand tools, there are plenty of videos on YouTube to instruct you on how to do this. So at my local Home Depot, 3/4 inch melamine goes for about $50 for a 4x8 sheet. Now, I think I purchased 2 sheets to build my rack system. I have between $100 and $150 within my rack system that holds 8 snakes. So I have 2 sheets of 3/4 inch melamine. I bought little tiny wheels to go on the bottom so I can wheel it around. A cheap extension cord, thermostat, and then heat tape. With just those few items, you can build your own rack system. Now, melamine isn't gonna last forever. It doesn't look pretty. Sometimes it expands with the humidity. All it has to do is to get you by until you produce snakes so that you could sell what you produce to reinvest into your business and buy those brand new racks. The second thing that can save us a lot of money is rodents and breeding our own. Feeding multiple snakes can get expensive really quick, especially if you live in the middle of nowhere like me and you have to drive 80 to 100 miles just to get to your closest pet store to purchase your rats. Whether you feed live or frozen, it is still a huge expense. So Adam over at Proper Royals has some great videos where he is extremely transparent with his profits and losses of each year for his business. One of his biggest, if not the biggest expense that he has are his rodents. So one way to combat this is to breed your own rodents. And yes, you have to invest in building your own rack system first, but you only have to do it once. And again, I think I have about $100 in the rodent racks. So each month I go through 1 50-pound bag of hog feed and 1 bag of pine shavings. My expenses for my rats are about $40 a month, not including time. We can't include our own time spent within this hobby business in the beginning because it'd be completely pointless, at least in the beginning. So it costs me about $40 a month to feed my snakes. So if you compare that $40 a month to, let's say, going to the store and purchasing your rats live at $4 a rat right now, I believe it is, and you're doing, let's say, 10 snakes, so $40 a week times 4 times a month, $160 a month. That's over $1,500 a year that you're paying to feed your snakes. $1,500. That is the price of that beautiful snake that you've been eyeing on Wharf Market. Now, I know a lot of people don't want rats in their home. Trust me, I didn't initially either want rats in my home. But unfortunately, there's some cons with the pros. Now, my biggest fear were the rats will escape and they would stink. But if you keep up on the rats, they don't smell at all. In fact, I barely even know that they're down there, even when I'm in the same room. Secondly, they're not going to escape. As long as you feed them, you keep them healthy, you keep them content, they're gonna have no reason to want to escape their cages. All right, so my third way to save money is investing in snakes themselves. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I believe that the future of the ball python market is in the recessive genes, or at least stacking the recessives on top of each other. So having that mindset, I'm only going to assume that the majority of the snakes that you're going to invest in are going to be into the recessive genes. The albinos, the pieds, the desert ghosts, the clowns, the list goes on. So if you spend any amount of time window shopping on Morph Market like I used to, well, still do if I'm being honest, you'll notice that the female snakes go for a lot more than the male snakes of the same morph. So my advice to you is to buy visual males to save some money. For example, today, for a male albino pied visual is around $500 to $550. Now, for the same exact genes for a female, it's close to $900 to $1,000 for the same wolf. So again, to save money, if you purchase your visuals as males and then purchase your visuals as hets or double hets, or for example, again with the albino pied, if you had an albino het pied or a pied het albino females, you would save a lot more money. I think on Morph Market, when I was looking this morning, that I see some female double hets for about 100 to 150 bucks. So for the price of one female visual, you can have multiple het females, which in the long run, you'll have more opportunity to produce visuals. So for my albino pied project, I have my albino pied possible leopard male. So what I purchased for this project was one visual albino pied female. I have an albino het pied female, and then I have a pied het albino female to save me some money. What that does, it gives me a better chance of hitting those odds. Also, these guys are living animals. When it comes time to breed them, they might not take. Some of these females, like my pied het albino, she's not the best eater, so she might be not up to weight within the next year or two. So if you purchase more snakes, you're better in your chances for a better breeding season. Alright guys, so that's my top 3 ways of saving money when getting into the bull python breeding project. Again, if you liked the video, please like. It really does help spread the word and get the video out to other people. And if you like the content that I'm producing, go ahead and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week.